Okay guys, it's time to open the Global Slingshot Trade end that came from Jeremy Tyler. He's been working on this for a while and he's been tormenting all of you and tormenting me a bit. So let's cut it open. Get the show on the road. I believe this is the last package of that trade to make its way. Now there's a letter. Oh, hang on. This is going to take a while. Okay, we'll continue after I read that personal letter. I won't get into the personal stuff in there, but suffice it to say, according to Jeremy, almost everything in here is one of the first he ever made. And it's only funny that I should have posted on the forum a few days back, probably after he sent this, that in my collection of slingshots, I have a lot of the first slingshots a lot of people ever made on this forum who have gone on to become experienced craftsmen. And it's always fun for me to go back and look at their first work, old work if you will, and see where they started. Yeah, it's a new appreciation for what can be accomplished when people set their mind to it. So while other people might see imperfections, I see where they started and where they've gotten to, and that brings me great joy as well, because a lot of them ask me a lot of questions about doing stuff and how to fix things. So it's always good for me to help, and it always makes me feel like I've helped them accomplish something. But as you can see, here's the first nylon cut he ever made. Some of you will remember that on the forum. He shot quite a few things with it. I believe it's Flicks that made this design, or D-Guy, and then this is another one that's very similar to one I made that he really liked. And you can see these are both his first attempts. So I got these two to keep in my collection of treasures. This is from our first trade. You'll remember that I had just traded Jeremy before the Global Slingshot Trade occurred. And funny thing was the drawing put us together again. So this is actually from the original trade. I told him I wanted a couple spud dudes. So I got a couple of spud dudes for the stuff I sent him. He said one's for me and one's for whomever I want. I'll probably band it up and send it to my little brother, and we'll probably have these for hoot. Now, some of you have seen the spud dudes. Now you can compare what a spud dude looks like in my hand. This is pretty much a small slingshot for me, so you guys understand. I'd probably go right up and grab it like that, or I can pinch grip it, or I can just pistol grip it like that. Either way, it's actually a very comfortable slingshot. It's kind of funny how comfortable it is. Hilarious too. The eyes, no, the eyes, I was wondering if the eyes maybe move. So we'll stand those two little boogers over there. Here's banding and various ties, and it looks like latex, but I'm not exactly sure. It could also be one of the like TheraBand yellow or brown or whatever they call it. It looks like there's some nice pouches in there as well. This is another one. I believe this is the first wood one that Jeremy ever made. At least I think that's what he said. And you can see it's a vicious little number that's been soaked. Once again, a pickle fork. You can smell the finish on it. It's been soaking. I can't remember what all he said. I think he said he soaked it in boiled linseed oil. Yeah, it smells like linseed oil. And then he did a rubbed wax finish on it, I think he said. And as you can see, he's kind of got the bottom of very similar to the chalice. and the top is very similar. If you've ever seen B-Tune, has a little shooter called Slim Pickens. I believe the top mimics that. Obviously it's a one of a kind because it's different from that as well, which is good. Place for a lanyard. Bubble wrap for my kids to play with later. And now he said this was the big one, and he made all kinds of apologies in his thing, which are not necessary in his letter. He said this is his first ever, and he worked really hard on it, which I can believe, because I know he doesn't have very many power tools. Check out this, guys. Look at this massive mackerel. Look at the size of that thing. Fits right in the hand. See, what a lot of you guys may not know is I have a collection of some really huge naturals that people have made for me because my hands are so big. You know, I do shoot a fair amount of them, but a lot of times I just put them up on the mantle to appreciate them. As you can see, this has some incredible wood and grain, and Jeremy was worried because he noticed that the forks were not the same height. But you know what? I've got several where the forks aren't the same height because that would have taken away from the wood and the way this fork turned out. You can see there's incredible color on this, incredible grain. There's almost like there's been, like it's pulled up something dirty from the ground at one time and brought it up inside of itself. You can see the center of the eye down there, a nice lanyard hole. But as you can see, it's just pretty to look at. Man, it's incredible, Jeremy. You did a good job, man. Very nice sanding job. Very nice finish job. I can tell you've polished it for a long time. And I know you were scared to even these up after seeing that they were what you claimed to be as wrong. But you know what? Most of these kind of slingshots that are the special ones, I rarely shoot. I usually put up as a display item because they mean a lot to me, so I keep them in that manner. And if I want a shooter, I just grab some, like Georg always says, you grab some clunker you have somewhere and just shoot it because you're afraid to injure anything special that somebody gave you. But wow, nice work, Jeremy. You did good. Can you guys see me? The end of the Global Slingshot Trade. It's funny that I should send the first one out and receive the last one. I think that's hilarious. But you know what? It's an awesome package, Jeremy. Thanks a lot.